Echo 3-1, Viper 1-1 on approach, ready for tasking. What's your position? Roger, 7-1. Target acquired. Weapons free in 5 seconds.
Ta-da! And that's my intro. There we go. Good evening.
Supposed to start with dun dun dun.
I can't let you do the intro the next time. Right. So, guys, if you're joining us, thank you very much for joining. You are, of course, joining us for the recap show, and you're joining myself, Yakusawa, and, of course, NSeeker707. How are you, Seeker?
I'm fantastically good, and yourself?
Absolutely, absolutely. And as always, guys, when we open the stream, we are going to ask for those peeps that have joined us. Let us know on the stream whether everything's all good on your side, video's good and audio's good and all sorts of things like that. And of course, if you have joined us and you're looking at the screen, you will see you're seeing something different than normal. And what is the people looking at, Seeker?
B1 Gaming. I think it's our Prixie's submission this week.
Absolutely.
Very good shipment gameplay, yeah?
But we're showing a few videos tonight in cycle, aren't we?
Yes, we are. It's great.
You want to tell people at least who they should be looking out for if they manage to see them?
No. I think that people need to watch and pay attention to who they're looking at.
Of course.
I think so.
So guys,
and then we'll talk about them afterwards.
So guys, there's a couple of videos that have been submitted. So first of all, thank you very much to those guys that did submit this week. We clipped a few of these together and we're showing them. And if you're wondering whose gameplay you're looking at, in the bottom right hand corner of the screen there's a name there written. At the moment it says B1 Gaming, and that's of course iPrex's submission for the week. And just look at the bottom of the screen, the name there will tell you whose gameplay you're looking at. If we do miss someone, because obviously we're pulling up stuff on the screen the whole time, and we're showing you some charts and some graphics and all sorts of cool things, and if we do by accident skip over someone's clip or have something on the screen while their name is there, then of course at the end we will call out everybody who submitted clips. And we will be using this clip for a week or so, maybe two, just to make sure that we at least cover all the guys that hand in clips. We have already received some new submissions. So
yes.
Yeah, so I'm working on already editing the next video, but for tonight we've got this one on demand. and that's what we are showing you guys. Just for interest sake, this particular clip will end in a atomic bomb, just so that you know.
A nuke. I can see it on the screen already. It's freaking amazing.
All right. So there we go, Seeker. So we're back for another recap show, and this is of course the recap show for week 3, right? We are heading into week 4. And
yes,
super excited, and some good things and some I don't want to say less good things, but there's some stuff that we will talk about tonight that's happened during this week as well. We'll have a look at the outcomes of the different games. We'll again show the guys where to find the schedules. We'll talk about where the divisional tables are. So quite a full agenda. And then of course we'll also talk a little bit about the awards, right? I mean, we had a little bit of a sneak peek in the week. I put up a bit of a teaser for the awards, and we'll just also have a bit of a look at that, right? And talk a little bit about that.
And just to answer one of the questions in the chat, perplexed, it's only guys that are taking part in Clan Wars in this season. So you can pretty much, I mean, you can throw us some Warzone clips if you really want to, but as long as you are part of season 3.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's one of the benefits, right?
Yeah.
Well, what do we want to call these people? The chosen ones, or what? I don't know. What do you want to call them? Anything.
I don't know.
Right.
The honorable EFF members.
The honorable, yes, that is beautiful. I love that. The honorable EFF members, our comrades. I like it. I like it. All right. There we go. And this is an interesting question by Deadshot. How long must the clip be? Deadshot, you know what? Without giving away, your clip was about 2 minutes and 20 seconds, which was perfect. So we add a couple of these clips together, and it's not necessarily one clip. It's we add some of them together to form a bit of a longer looping cycle. I mean, you'll see that we'll cycle over now to Dia Voodoo's clip that he submitted. I think he submitted quite a little bit of a shorter one. And then of course these clips will be cycling throughout the night. As I said, we put some stuff on the screen, and we don't want people to necessarily miss the clips that were submitted. But there's 5 clips for tonight out of the bunch that was submitted during the week. So we selected I don't want to say first 5, but the 5 that could fit in nicely. And then we'll cycle them as we go through the different reward shows over the weeks and so on. And we hope you guys enjoy it. Of course, we're putting them on not only just for a little bit of exposure for the players, but I'm sure you guys got very bored of my continuous Warzone clips that I had on previously. Yo, the Bartman wrote a novel there. Seeker, I'm going to talk while you read the novel. And
Yes, Bartman, you can submit other clips as well. I think we actually said it was clips from matches in Clan Wars. I think we just said as long as players are actually in Clan Wars or in season 3 of Clan Wars.
Great. So that was what the novel was about, yeah?
Yes.
Excellent. Seeker, but it's been a busy week, right? I mean, it's been
It has.
absolutely insane. I mean, there were, 28 games again this week? 26?
Yeah.
It's been really...
Well, a few less because there's been a couple forfeit, but we will go through that, in the results as well. And unfortunately, we did lose 2 teams, but we will come back and discuss that as we go along.
Actually, you know what? If we wanted to, that's something to maybe call out right in the beginning of the show, right? I mean, guys, every season, when we start the season, we're all excited, teams are all excited, and I mean, we really, so we start off a season with all this energy. And just before I continue talking, Seeker, by the way, it's your clip showing on the screen now. From that night we ran around and tried to gold our knives, right? We actually did manage to gold our knives that night. You're actually running with your golden knife now. So this was a clip.
I'm working on Obsidian.
So this was a clip at the end of the night. Anyway, as I say every season, right, is that when you run a league and when you organize a league, it's like organizing a marathon, right? When you start organizing the tournament, you know that there are people that will not last the distance, right, and that will eventually drop out. And I mean that's for many reasons, right? Teams don't drop out because they're bad teams or anything. If I can use the example of a marathon runner, one marathon runner breaks a shoelace, another one pulls a hammy, right? Sometimes you can help it, sometimes you can't. And these things do happen, and unfortunately we're heading into sort of 2/3 of the first half of the league, and we've lost 2 teams, and they are the teams of Zion and the team of Pink, correct?
Correct.
And I mean, these are 2 really great teams, and again, for whatever reason, sometimes teams do not sort of make it up until the end. And we have unfortunately lost those 2. But we'll talk a little bit more about what will happen now in their divisions and their standings and so forth. So we will talk about that. Can I just tell you that I can't look at the screen the whole time while I'm talking because I'm on a roller coaster here with these knives. It's a bit hectic.
just to go back to those teams as well that we lost them for different reasons. And that will happen during the league. I mean, there are like several reasons that teams could actually drop out. Um, during a league. One of them is, teams overcommit a little bit and they, sort of go to a official league and want to then dedicate their time to that, which is okay. I mean, that's one of the things we said about Clan Wars in the beginning was that we are a community-based league, and if it is giving teams practice and exposure and help to actually get themselves to a point where they can take part in an official league, that's always a good thing for us as well. We don't hold any grudges against any teams or anything like that.
Exactly.
And then the second one, of course, is a little bit of internal issues, and that again happens in every clan and has to happen at least once, I think, for a clan to actually build up to be stronger and better than they were before.
Absolutely, absolutely. But again, guys, as Sika said, I mean, the aim of Clan Wars and the aim of Clan Wars has always been to to be a community-based league, to provide teams with support, to give them the necessary exposure. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, we were fortunate enough to hear about a team. Actually, last week, to be honest, fortunate enough to hear from a team who has been picked up, as a esports with an esports sponsor, and that's the sort of good news stories that we like to hear. But of course, the other side is also true. Not all teams can always make it to the end for whatever reason. And there we go. We had 2 teams dropping out. But stuff happens. These things happen, throughout, and it happens every season. And we sort of come to realize that, there's nothing really you can do about it, right? The only thing that we do is we organize in such a way that it doesn't disrupt the rest of the league, right? Which is also part and parcel of the reason why the league is built in the way that it is. Anyway, yes, like that. What
Mark saying on the chat, yeah, he wants us to organize NAF only tournament. You would watch that.
Ah, it's Mr. Apple on the stream. What's up,
Yes.
Mike? All good, man. All good. Me and Mike had a great plunder round the other night, and let's just say Mike and that M4 of his is a bit of a beast when it comes to plunder. Anyway, right, guys, but of course you did come here tonight for a specific reason. You came to see what the league did for this last week, and we are going to start with the results. So what, guys, tonight the agenda is we are going to show you the results. I will, of course, then go to where you can find the games for the next week. And then before we get on to talking about the top players of the week, we are going to talk a little bit about the awards. I did give a teaser on Wednesday. It went out on the Facebook page, and we're going to just very quickly look at those awards and talk a little bit about them. And then, of course, we will go to divisional tables before we close for the evening. So that, in a nutshell, is the agenda. And I think we can get started. Sika, you ready?
I am ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Good. Right. So let's go to, where would you like to start tonight? Division 1. Let's start that Division 1. Right, guys. So if you're looking at your screen right now, the divisional results for week 3, this is for Division 1. And the first game up there was the game between GSE versus Evil. And that was, of course, the game against your team, Seeker. And GSE took the win there. And they took it with 717 versus the 696 from Evil. But you say it was tough.
It was a super close match.
It was sweaty, right?
Yeah, no.
But always good to see. Then, of course, the second game there was from CPR, that's Cross-Platform Rejects, and they faced off against the Phoenix Warriors, and CPR took the win there, 750 points over the 526 from Phoenix Warriors. And the third game there for Division 1 was against VDT, that's Vendetta Gaming, and they versed Untamed Beasts. And I must tell you that I heard that this was a sweaty match as well, but VDT took the win there with 750 points versus the 495 from UB. And of course, Vendetta Gaming, our Season 2 champions, so proving why as well in this week. So that was the 3 games for Division 1, and I mean, really, really good performance there by some of the teams. I mean, again, both CPR and VDT walking their way with full points, right?
That's correct.
Excellent.
We just wouldn't let GSE get their full points this time.
Yeah, no, I was waiting for you to put the little knife in there. There we go. Moving on to Division 2 then, guys. And your Division 2 games for week 3, there were 4 of them. And we're starting there at the top with First to Obliterate. And they faced off against Lifeline Gaming, with First to Obliterate taking the win 750 versus the 448 from LLG. The second game, Project Alpha Tarkmach, they faced off against Brotherhood of the Beasts, and of course Project Alpha taking the win there with 750 versus the 626 from Bob. Then Dark Divine unfortunately lost their game against Motion Esport. Motion Esport picking up the win there with 678 points versus the 659. And just by the scores, this looked like it was bit of a headlock.
Yes.
Right.
That was a tough one. That was anyone's game right up until the end.
Yeah, I mean there's what, less than 20 points in it, 19 points. So yep. I mean that's I almost want to say close as damn it, but when we look at the divisional tables later, we're going to see a much smaller difference between some of these teams, right? I mean, yes. Some of them are like really, really tight. And then, of course, the last game there was between 797 Gig, or Green is Good, and they faced off against the Gunslinger Girls, and the Gunslinger Girls taking the win there with 745 versus the 632 of Gig. And just not full points, huh? For the girls there.
Yes. One map, we lost 5 points. My goodness.
But very, very well played. Very, very well played. Anything on Division 2 that I'm leaving out? Sigurd, can I move on to Division 3?
No, that's pretty much it.
Right. Moving on then to Division 3. And Division 3, there were 3 games played this week. The first was the game between Blah and 4QM8, and Blah taking the win there with 600 points versus the 438 by 4Q. The second game, Divine Gaming, this is of course the Dragon team. They faced off against Project Beta Tarkmach, and Divine Gaming Dragon took the win there 750 over the 438 from Project Beta Tarkmach. And then of course we had the third game there, and unfortunately there was a forfeit in that game, and that was the game of Rebel Mafia Reapers versus Dark Divine Bravo. And of course that's the last, is that the last time we're going to see Dark Divine Bravo?
That is, it is.
And this is of course the last
we just didn't have the logo all nasty.
Yeah, funny story. On the tables this week, I've updated it, so we will see so we will see the new logos on the table. So that's fine. That's fine. We're showing this one for the last time, and then we'll show the new one on the tables, right?
I'm gonna miss this logo though. It's such a pretty logo.
It is, right? It's it almost reminds me of a roaring cat, or a rogue cat, if you want to call it that.
It looks like a panther.
It's a rogue cat. Trust me. Right, and they took the win there 750 points, and that was of course because of the forfeit. Moving on then to Division 4, and in Division 4 there was those 4 games, the first being there between Invasion Gaming, and they faced off against Toxicity Gaming, and again a very close game with Invasion Gaming taking the win there 750 versus the 702 by Toxicity Gaming. The second game
also
there,
a very close match.
And the second one as well, right? Second one, very, very close. That is, of course, the Notorious Thugs. That was the Amuba team. They won the game. There were 734 points versus the 715 of Fear Gaming. And then, of course, unfortunately, we had that forfeit from Pink, with Pink now leaving the competition. And that gave an automatic win there to Cloudy with 750 points. And the last game there was between Blur 2, and they faced off against FTWK. And that, of course, Blur took the win with 595 points versus the 518 from FTWK. And that is Division 4.
Okay, so I want to point out something here quickly on this one. On the second match there, Fear Gaming versus Amoeba. So the reason that the points look like it should be the other way around with the win-loss is because there is actually just, there was such close games. The maps were so close. Amoeba took more points, but Fear still got the 2 map wins. But the third game was so close that it just pushed them over.
Excellent. Thank you for pointing that out, actually. I wanted to, but then you know me, I just move on. Right? Moving then on to Division 5. So Division 5 also had 4 games. And unfortunately, we also had that one forfeit here by Zion, who of course has unfortunately also left the competition. And that gave Falcon Gaming the automatic win for 750 points. But the first game up there was New Era Gaming Specialist, or NEGS. They took the win with 750 points over the team of PWPK with 533 points. B1 Gaming took the win with 600 points versus versus Phoenix Phantoms with 583 points. And then, of course, Original Gentlemen's Club took the win, 750 points over Bohr, who lost the match there with their score of 616 points. Now, I'm not going to talk about them now, Sika. I guess we're going to talk about why some of these scores look the way they do when we get to the tables, right?
Yes.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Right, Division 6. There were 3 games in Division 6, and the first game up there was the Monkeys, and they're still making a killing here after week 3. They have now won their third consecutive game with no map losses. They took the win again, 750 points over the Notorious Thugs Osiris with 560 points. The second game there, Divine Gaming, and that is of course the Viserion team, they took the win, 750 over the loss of Fire, with their score being 547. And the last game over there is again a bit of a strange one. Outlaw Gamers actually took the win with 654 points, slightly lower score than the losing team Zold, but they ended up on 713 points. And again, guys,
the reason for those points being a little bit lower are because of an infringement.
Exactly. So if the infringement wasn't there, then of course the score would look different. But so they still took the win, but unfortunately got penalized on the table. So got penalized with a yellow. So of course still taking the win, but their scores accordingly go to the divisional table in the way that you see them now. And then we're going to move on to the last division, and then we'll get to some comments that are on the stream. In Division 7, there were 3 games. The first game there, Charlie Tango Cockprot, or CTK, took the win there, 750 points over the 597 from the Lords of Latency. The Notorious Thugs Regicide team, they took the win, 750 points over Digital Devils, 618. And of course, in the last game there, Rise of the Expendables, or Rex, they took the win, 750 points, and they versed, of course, Sicario Death Squad, who lost the game there with their score of 502 points. And that is the results of the week. What a bloody mouthful. Sure.
I see Blank wants a shout out there on the chat. So hi Blank.
There we go.
We'll get to your divisions now.
Stay tuned, Blank. You've got to listen up.
You'll have your shout out where we get to the divisions.
Absolutely. So, Sika, what's happening in the comments over there? Who are we saying hi to? Who's joined us? Who has
a lot
questions?
of people in here. Of course, Floofy is here. Yay, Floofy. We've got Bo in the house. We've got Andre the Great. We've got some Fear guys in here. Let's see who else. Barry is in here. Celeste, hello. We've got Gemini Batman from CPR. We've got Deleted from Fear. We've got some. Who else? Bartman is here. Psycho is here. Oof.
I see Flame
Sector 17 is here. I actually had to think about that for a moment. Sector 17.
Yes, of course.
And then OGC is in the house as well. Of course, we've got some F20 guys. Sure.
CPR.
And I think I'm going to stop more or less there.
Looks
because
like we've
there's
got
a lot
few
more.
CPRs. Yes, okay, CPR, we know you're here. There we go, and that is absolutely great. So, Sika, that was the results for the week, right? I mean, quite intense, a lot of games. I mean, we're getting on to, as we go into the season, it's getting a lot more tough on the guys to, push through, right? So we are seeing some struggles coming in with some teams, availability-wise, commitment-wise, and those sort of things. But an exciting week nonetheless, right? So, tell me,
Yes.
We've got to cover a few topics, right? You, of course, know what they are. Are we going to talk about, what do you want to talk about now? Do you want to talk about the awards, or do you want to talk about the top players? What do you want to do?
I think let's go to the awards.
Right, I've got that
That's a good
ready
place to
for you.
start before we do the top players.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right. So, guys, as you know, with Clan Wars, at the end of every season, we try and reward teams. And from season 3, we have a couple of new team members on board on our side, and that is, of course, in the form of the Stats Master and Stats Slayer, and that is, of course, Black Sailor Ranger and Chaos Artist. And these guys are doing an absolutely magnificent job in tracking player individual stats. And we are now also from this season going to do some rewards for individual players. So earlier this week on Wednesday, actually, I put out a teaser in terms of showing you guys the awards. And if you look at your screen right now, you will see those little teaser pictures that I put up there. Well, actually, I shouldn't probably not say it that way, right? It's not teaser pictures because those I can't show on the stream, but I put
It's clickbait.
some clickbait images on.
Oh, that sounds even worse.
Yeah, I know, right? You can't get it right with this. But anyway, so we've got the awards on the screen, guys. And if you look at the left there, there's a set of awards, and on the right there's a brand new set of awards. So the set on the left, you if you have followed the league before and you have seen other seasons that we've done, you would have noticed that those awards are our legacy awards, and they've been coming with us for some time. And the awards on the right hand side is the brand new awards, and they are the player individual awards. So again, I mean, I don't want to give too much away in terms of exactly how you manage to achieve these awards. They are measured, let's just say, statistically. That's of course the ones on the right, and they will be given to certain players for specific things at the end of the season. But just to read them out, and you can probably get a rough idea of what they're for. Damascus, Gravedigger, Purple Heart, Kamikaze, Dominate, and On Point are the brand new awards. On the left-hand side,
Yeah,
of course...
if I didn't know what they were for, I wouldn't know what they were for.
You think so? You think so?
Yeah.
I think the names are pretty...
If you take it and you actually link it to what it's for, yes, it makes sense. But I think just saying the award names, it's like, huh?
Well, okay, maybe, but I mean, they're there, and as long as the guys know that there are some of those awards coming their way. Of course, that's not all of them. This is a teasing image, so it's some of the awards that will be available, right? And then, of course, on the left-hand side, guys, again, that's our legacy awards. The championship, the championship medals. You've got Condor there, which is a voted award, as well as Cunning, which is also a voted award. They are voted for by the teams that are playing for other teams. We have the To the End there, and I had a question earlier tonight. Does a team who make it to the end actually get an award? Yes, that's the one they get. So for just making it to the end, you get To the End, which goes
participation medal.
Exactly, goes up on your team page and shows that you have started and ended the season. We, of course, have the coveted Untamed Award, right, which is for that team who did not lose a single map during the entire season. And last season, we only gave out one. And this season, it looks like there's a bit of competition for that one. So let's see. Let's see. And then, of course, we have the dedicated Stream Team Award. And that is also a voted award. And that is for favorite stream team. So there we go. That's a little bit of more information for you guys on the awards. We will be giving out some more information around the awards closer to the time, but we thought it good to at least put it up on the screen and give you guys just an idea of some of the new stuff that we are working on. Now, in saying that, Seeker.
Ooh, okay.
Sure. I don't know if I promoted you or demoted you. You tell me.
I don't know. It depends on whether you are, Cleopatra or Brutus in this situation.
Oh my word, Seeker. Right. So let's get to the top players of the week. I'm going to leave that to you as always. You just tell me where you want to start.
All right. I'm going to start at Division 1 because it's on my screen already.
Right. Division 1 is up.
All right, so in Division 1, for top 3 players for score-wise, we've got Perplexed ZA, which I know is in the chat at the moment, from CPR with 20,325 points. I see CPR dominating a little bit in score this week. because number 2 there is Shady Lurker, also from CPR, with 18,400, shared with Die Bartman from CPR with 18,400. So you guys pretty damn close there in terms of score. So well done there to CPR.
Absolutely.
KD wise, we've got the Shady Lurker again there from CPR with 1.87, Pegasus Stock from VDT with 1.82, and Jules from GSE with 1.65. And I am going to say it's a pleasure for contributing towards that score because he killed me a lot in that game.
Well, all right. But obviously CPR dominating here, right? I mean, really, really in this division doing really well.
Yes, definitely.
Right.
Right.
You want to move on?
Yes, Division 2. All right, so Division 2 for week 3, we've got the reactivity again from Motion. So he was the top scorer for last week, 23,525 points. We've got Sad Panda also from Motion with 19,425, and Zenith from GSG with 18,375.
Nice. Well done. Well done.
Okay, KD ratio, we've got Oak from, of course, F20 dominating on this one in week 3. Oak from F20, not F20. 5.10.
That is crazy.
I actually double checked that. I had to go back and I was like, no. Something doesn't seem right here, but it is legit.
You know what I want to say? I want to say yes, like this Oak, and that works, right?
That's probably exactly where the name comes from, because it's just like that oak that just kills you all the time.
That is insane.
But then again, I mean, if you look at the other KD ratios, they're also pretty high above average. I mean, I'm Quirce there also from F2O with 3.41, and Proto X Alpha from F2O with 2.55.
So first to obliterate's on the stream, right? I think so. I think we've got some of the guys in the chat.
Yes, we did see some of the guys.
I would like to know if I am Quiz is actually Quiz, or whether that's just a name, right? I mean, like with me, right?
I know the answer to that. And
you
it's
do?
not, actually.
Oh.
Yes.
Because, you know, mine, right? I had somebody ask me once whether my actual PSN is right. And I was like, yeah, that's right. I'm just not that creative. Right, moving on then, Seeker. You know what, now that Caesar
you
thing
almost
is...
said Caesar again, didn't you?
It's stuck in my head now. I don't know why. Right, moving on to Division 3.
All right, Division 3 for week 3. Score-wise, we've got Void from Blair with 17,350. DMO Ace from Divine Gaming Drogon with 16,800. And Ziggylicious from Divine Gaming Drogon with 15,600.
Nice.
KD-wise, Void also actually... all of these guys also high above average with their KDs this week. Void from Blair with 3.39. Flamehound SA from Divine Gaming Drogon with 3.37, and DMO is not far behind Flamehound. They're also from Divine Gaming Drogon with 3.32.
Absolutely.
Very close margin
right?
between the three there.
So guys, just before we move on to the next division, maybe just something to call out. I know we did say this this last week as well, but of course, if you are looking at the KDs on your screen right now, they might, in fact, not might, they will differ most probably from the KDs that you find on the website. And of course, the reason for that is that you are looking at the KD ratios for this particular week, whereas the KD ratios on the website is of course the combination or the cumulative KD for the competition so far. So just bear that in mind. If you are new to the stream or the first time that you're joining us and you're wondering what's going on, that's the reason for that, right?
I just saw a message on my WhatsApp pop up with NCaesar 707.
That's, I don't know why I'm laughing. That's not funny. That's not funny.
No.
Okay, I'm lying. It's funny as hell. I've renamed you. I hope that doesn't stick. Oh my god.
No, no.
Division 4.
Right, so Division 4 for week 3, we've got King Jinx from TNT Amoeba with 23,775, deleted from Fair. I know he is on the chat as well with 22,525, and 100 points behind him, Hawkwood, also from Fear with 22,425. KD ratio here belongs a little bit to Blair's second team. Novocaine there with 2.19, and Mo with 1.83. And then, of course, from Invasion Gaming, we have Big Bad Wolf 026 with 1.32. 0.68.
I
Thank goodness
reckon.
his KD is not 0.26.
Why? Oh, of course, that would be weird. But I reckon with that caddy, that was like Hufflepuff and blew your house down, right?
Sure.
Right, moving on
Maybe it
then.
was on Shoothouse. You never know.
You never know. You never know. Moving on then to Division 5.
Okay, Division 5, we have Lucky 4591 from Negs with 24,625 points. Aprixie from B1 Gaming with 22,300 and Killer from Ball with 18,250. KD ratio, we have Aprixie again from B1 Gaming with 2.72. Lucky 4591 from Negs with 2.25 and Bender from B1 Gaming with 2.09.
Absolutely. I wonder. Well, I won't ask him, but maybe Lucky can let us know what is so lucky about 4591. Because clearly
I'm gonna go as
that's a
soon as Lotto opens up again. I think I'm gonna
that is a.
choose
Uh,
numbers 45
I was
and
just about to say that sounds like the beginning of a lotto number. Let us know if that's lucky.
oh, we just
Right.
need Nimrod and Kosi to be throwing out our Lotto numbers here, and then we'd feel right at home.
On a side note, do you think that's going to start again at some point? I don't know
I
what
hope
level
so. I
though.
really need the money.
Okay, well, that's a good a reason as any, right? Moving on then to Division 6.
Right, Division 6 for week 3, we have Soz Shell 67 from Zold with 25,625, Synoptics from MSMK with 25,150, and Myth from Divine Gaming Viserion with 22,075 points. KD ratio, we got Soz Shell again there from Zold with 1.93, Synoptics from MSMK with 1.83, and Myth, I feel like it's deja vu. Myth from Divine Gaming Viserion with 1.62.
I actually thought I lost you there for a second. I was like, hello?
I had this little moment where I was like, did I actually capture these correctly, or did I
No,
make a
no,
mistake?
can I tell you you did? But can I tell you how significant this is, right? I mean, if a player has a high score, you expect them to be objective players, right? So they were,
Yes.
sitting in the points, and they were capturing, and they were most probably trying to defend as best they could, but they were obviously not slayers. So chances are that they, could have a lower KD, right? In this case, you
Yes.
have exactly the same three players with maximum score as the same amount of KD. So either one of two things: either they were running in and out, capturing the points and slaying at the same time, or they were exceptionally good at defending without getting killed.
No, it was so bad now. I had that like momentary lapse and quickly looked at my messages to make sure I had it right, that I didn't actually make a mistake with it. But it is actually like that. So those are the three players and in exactly the same order for score and KD.
That's great, right? That's very significant, actually. Very
Yeah,
well done.
that's
Very
pretty
well done.
well done to those players.
Moving then on to the last division, which is Division 7.
Right, Division 7 for week 3. Score-wise, we have SX Desire from TNT Regicide with 23,800 points. Redact BTW from Digital Devils with 20,575. And Chiron 777 from Rex with 19,325 points. On KD side of things, we've got Chiron 777 from Rex with 2.19. Berserk Wolf from CTK with 1.80 and SX Isaiah from TNT Regicide with 1.68.
Sorry, excellent. My mic was off. So, so there we go. I was
It
talking.
actually wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh, I thought it was. I was talking and talking. Oh, you know what? I think it was on your side, but I think it was off to the stream.
Oh,
So
possibly.
possibly, right? So anyway, so very very well done to those players. I think it's really really cool. And can I tell you that there's some names that I'm starting to notice are there every week, right? And not so many. I think there's quite a few people that are getting some cool airtime around their KD and their score. But I noticed that there's one or two guys that always manage to sneak in there, either with KD or with score, right? And of course, at the end of the season, we will see just exactly who those top players are statistically wise, right? And I'm quite excited to actually
Yep.
see that.
Yeah, I'm getting to the point where I'm busy putting in the information and I'm like, oh, you again. Oh, you
Oh,
again.
really? Really?
Oh, you again and again.
Right.
Like, give someone else a chance.
So what we're going to do, Sika, is very quickly, before we move then on to the divisional tables, which is pretty much the last part of the show tonight, what I would like to do is just to refresh everybody on where they will be able to get the games for the next week. So we are going to quickly go there. And guys, what you are looking at is you are actually looking at the website. And of course, if you don't know where to find it, that is www.bfclanwars.net. And you can go and see all the detail around the league and all the information there. But where you will find the schedules for next week is if you go up to the menu item that says leagues and tournaments, you of course head over to Call of Duty, head over to season 3, and then there is a little menu item called events list. Now if you click on there, I'm just going to allow it a second to update, then you will see all the games that have been scheduled for next week. Now we are not going to go through them as every week. I just show you where to find them, but you can see that there's a lot of games that has been scheduled already. The important things to remember is where to see the date, and that you will see on the blue bar on the left there's a date, and in the middle there's a countdown timer that will show you exactly how long it is until this game is scheduled for. So if you have a specific team, a favorite team, you can of course go and look for their match over there. If you would like to follow them and see where they are on the league tables as well, you will of course head over to Leagues and Tournaments, Call of Duty, Season 3, and if you click on the menu item that says Season 3 Teams, you will find all the teams and their team pages all lined up very, very nicely for you guys. Go and find your favorite team. If you click on them, you will get some information. That'll be the information on their bios, the players that are registered to play in this season, where they are in the league table, and a bit of a write-up. Of course, any awards that they may or may not have won, actually if they may not have won it, it won't be there, but if they've won any awards in previous seasons, it will of course also show up on these team pages. So go and check it out and go and follow your favorite team. They really do appreciate your support. And while we are talking about support and following, guys, there's a lot of streams going out on different channels. Of course, the channel probably receiving the most hits in terms of links for streamers specifically is the Facebook page. If you are on the Facebook page, that's great. If you're not, you can go and join us there. Just search for Call of Duty ZA. Sika might drop the link a little bit later on in the chat as well. Go and join that group. A lot of the streamers are dropping their links there. We really, really do appreciate the streamers coming out in force and really pumping out a lot of these games for us during the week. So go out there, support the streamers. They really also do appreciate that. There we go.
So there's an interesting comment in the chat regarding streaming, actually. Fat Cat, they're asking if we can add the streaming links to the schedule. It would be possible. It's something we can look into, but we need teams to then schedule stuff on time so that we can organize the streams. That would be great.
Actually, can I be honest with you? And maybe I'll give Fat Cat the direct answer. The capability is there. It's actually already available on the website, and we can actually do it as of now. The difficulty comes in is that requires that teams are a lot better at scheduling their games in time. Because of course there's a certain admin component involved in setting up these schedules on the website, right? So for now, because of the time frames and things involved, we're not doing it. And also sometimes you get commitment that it's going to be played on Wednesday, and then sort of a day later it gets changed, and then the streamer who originally said is available might not be available at the same time. So there's a big admin component, which is the reason why we've left it off for now. Hopefully in future, we are trying to figure out a way how to exactly make the timelines work in a way that we can actually do that and have it on the website as well. But for now, most of those stream links are shared, and as I said, go out, guys, support these streamers. They do put a lot of time and effort, and in fact their own time and effort into it. So the very least that we can do is support them. And I'm actually quite happy to say that I've seen a lot of support going out for a lot of these streamers that are bringing us the games, right?
Yes, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of capability we have on the site, but we are a little bit limited in terms of what we can do with what we get. So yeah, it is one of the issues. But I think that stick to the Facebook page. There's also a South African gaming videos page on Facebook where a lot of the links get shared out as well. Um, and yeah, of course, if you are watching streams from guys who are streaming these matches, subscribe to their channels because a lot of the time it's the same guys that are streaming the different matches over and over. So, drop them a like, hit the subscribe button, and just get to catch up on some of the stuff that's going on.
Speaking about that, if you have joined us tonight, guys, thank you very much for joining. We, of course, also really appreciate your support. And if you're already subscribed to the channel, you are awesome. If you are not subscribed to the channel, please become awesome and hit that little subscribe button. Also, hit the little bell to get your notifications whenever we go online. And of course, if you like what you are seeing or at least what we are doing, remember to hit the like button. We really, really enjoy some positive feedback. And that's always great if we see that after a stream. Rightio. So, Sika, we have to move on now to the last part of the show this evening, and that is, of course, the divisional tables. But before I do that, I do want to talk a little bit about the red card, yellow card system. Right. We have to. Unfortunately, it's never a nice conversation, but it is something that has to be done. So, guys, as you know, from season 2, we implemented the red card, yellow card system. And, like with any sport, I mean, if you think about rugby, if you think about soccer or anything like that, any team sort of sport, there's sometimes a system or a red card, yellow card system. And that is for teams that might be doing things that they shouldn't be doing, breaking a rule or, I don't know, conduct or whatever it may be the case, depending on what the infringement is. And then they, of course, get a penalty for that. Now, in Clan Wars, we, of course, also have a yellow card, red card system that has been implemented since season 2. And predominantly, this is for either a rule infringement or something like, for example, a player playing that is not registered for the season or whatever may be the case, then a team might get penalized. And for those guys that know or don't know, you should know if you've read the rules, then of course a yellow card means a deduction of 50 points, and that is a yellow card per infringement, right? Now, unfortunately, we try and not be too strict, so we give 3 yellow cards before you get a serious warning, right? And the serious warning is, of course, a red card. And a red card.
Well, I mean, you get a stern talking to by myself. But,
yes. A stern talking to by Seeker. Then she sounds like Caesar. Anyway.
No star.
There we go. So then you get 3 yellow cards, and after your 3rd yellow card, the next infringement is then a red card. And a red card is actually minus 150 points off your league table. So that is a lot, guys. And I mean, some of these teams work really, really hard to find themselves in a placement within their division. And then, of course, sometimes, they break a silly rule. They use a stun grenade, or they, play a player which they, forgot wasn't registered or whatever may be the case, and they get a yellow card for it. And, those points go lost, right? So it's quite a big thing. The unfortunate thing is as the rules state, and I mean, we're not going to change it midway through the season, but as the rules state, once you receive a red card, the next infringement is a disqualification. So, I'm highlighting this specifically because it is very, very important that, of course, teams understand this, right? So 3 yellow cards. On your 4th infringement, you will get a red card, and then effectively on your 5th infringement, you will be disqualified from the tournament and you will not be able to take part any further. In fairness, it's your 5th infringement, right?
Yes. And you have had several stern talkings to.
Yes.
Talking tos.
Several stern talking tos. There we go. I think that's the right way to say it.
I see Blankers on the chat there, saying that he's had the stern talk, and it's super scary.
Well, luckily me, I've not had a stern talk, but I believe you. I believe you that it's scary. But nonetheless, guys, I thought I wanted to highlight this tonight. Because every week we look at the tables, and last week I had a message after the stream, asking me, hey, listen, I see that, one particular team has a yellow card, what's that all about? And then I figured it would be a good idea maybe just to also highlight that on the stream and explain how it works, right? So, in saying that, we are then going to get on to the divisional tables. Let's start with Division 1. I feel like not being different tonight. Okay, Division 1. In Division 1, you will see at the moment for this week CPR right at the top there. So CPR 3 games, 2,150 points, and they are holding position 1. They are followed very closely by GSE. GSE, of course, they're on 2,023 points, and in third position we have the team of Phoenix Warriors, and they are on 1,836 points. In fourth position we have UB 1,765, and then of course there are 3 teams with a game in hand, and those 3 teams are RMZA, VDT, and of course Evil there in position 7. But of course, like I said, those last 3 teams all have a game in hand still. They've only played 2 games as yet. But for this week, Division 1 top position belongs to CPR. Seeker, you wanted to say something?
I want to say congratulations to CPR. They're doing a great job this season.
Nice. I heard you taking a breath while I was chipping in. Rightio. Division 2 then. So for this week, Division 2, we have first to Obliterate right at the top there. They've played 3 games, not lost a single map. So on 9 maps with 2,250 points. They are followed very, very closely by Motion Gaming, and Motion, of course, on 2,178 points. In third position, we have Dark Divine there.
Yes, they are just Dark Divine now.
Yes, I had to think about that for a second, but they are just Dark Divine now. I see you changed the name. Well done. And they are on 2,159 points, and in fourth position, their Project Alpha Tarkmach with 2,123. We then have the girls in fifth position, and they are on 2,041 points. We've got Bob in sixth, they are on 1,573. LLG in seventh position, they're 1,573 as well. And then, of course, we have Gig, and they are on 1,516. So, guys, if you are wondering, it's actually not position 6 and 7. It's actually a joint 6th position for Bob and LLG. Of course, if there is a tie like this on score, then of course the teams are arranged alphabetically. So a tie there actually for 6th position. Moving on then to Division 3 tables, and in Division 3 we have this is Divine Gaming, and this is of course the Dragon team. They are also on 3 games, 9 maps, so undefeated at the moment with 2,250 points. Then of course we have our new team, our new old team, S17 there on 1,912 points. We have 4QM8 there on 1,771. They are in third position. Project Beta Tarkmach is strong there in fourth position, 1,507 points, followed by Fire with Fire Alpha, 1,222 points. And then, of course, we have Blur and RMZA. RMZA, of course, took the forfeit this week that has passed, so you will also see the forfeit there on the table. And, of course, Fire with Fire Alpha, Blur and RMZA all have a game in hand still in this division.
Yes. Is this where we bring up the red cards?
This is where we bring up the red cards. So, if you guys are looking at the divisional table, you will, of course, see the different let's call it columns, which the different things are for. And at the bottom you have a legend that says yellow, or Y is for yellow, R is for red. It sounds like a rhyme, doesn't it? F is for forfeit, games played, games won, lost, maps won, and total points, right? And of course the R in there is for red card. And in this division, Blur is the lucky winner of the first red card within the competition. So blank you bad boy. Please bear in mind the speech
technically Blank is not the captain of the first team. He
Correct.
is the captain of the second team, but yes, he oversees both teams.
There we go. So please bear my little speech before we looked at the divisional tables in mind this coming and following weeks. Right, Division 4 then. In Division 4, that started off with TNTA. That's, of course, the team of the notorious Thugs, and it is the Amuba team. They are at the top there with 2,118 points, followed by Invasion Gaming on 2,059. Toxicity Gaming in third position on 2,047, followed by Fear in fourth on 2,029. We then have FTWK in fifth position with 2,019 points, followed by Blur 2 on 1,865 points. Cloudy or C7 there in 7th position, 1,350. And of course we have Pink there at the bottom, who unfortunately again left the tournament. They are on 769. So guys, you will see that we will maintain the divisional tables even with a team that has dropped out of the tournament, because of course we still maintain that score. It was part of the scores that were played, so it's part of the scores that form the overall divisional table. So of course that team won't now suddenly disappear off the table. They will remain there, but of course they will most probably not, well, not most probably, they won't gain any additional points, right? Now, if we do have Blur on the stream, of course we saw this in Division 3 and in Division 4. The Blur team in Division 4, also the proud owner of a brand new shiny red card. So earlier tonight in the captain's group, I gave Blank a comment and said, they're such cool guys. I hope they are here to see the end. And there we go, Blank. I hope you guys are here to see the end. And those hopefully those infringements are now under control. And we of course hope that you don't get another one, right? So that is Division 4. Moving on.
The chat is asking as well, like, what happened? Why there's things? It's infringements. It really does make a difference. We do pick it up. The teams do report it. And not only that, it's we catch when players are using different names to what they registered as well. If they change their name halfway through, a few weeks in, and all that kind of stuff.
I feel bad sometimes for a captain, right? Because you get players that the guy's going, you know what? I normally play as Killer Dog 29, but I actually like Killer Dog 69, and I'm just going to change it. And then they change it without telling their captain, right? And then of course the captain gets the call from Seeker going, listen, you played with a player that wasn't registered.
That's usually how the conversation starts, going
yes.
like, this player.
Yeah. So I mean, sometimes I feel bad for the captains. I mean, there are of course cases, right, where it's just not acceptable. I mean, also as part of a captain's duty, you're supposed to check the loadouts of the players that are playing, and sometimes that. I don't know if they forget, or it goes missing, or they just don't check it, or they trust the players that the guys have set up correctly, and then somewhere during some random stream you see this burst of light on the screen, and you can hear the stream go, oh no. Right, so that stuff happens, guys. As with any sport, these things are in place, and sometimes there's a high tackle. It's not because it's bad, or it's it's sometimes it is because of being a guy who likes to high tackle, and sometimes it's an accident. So like I said, these things happen. We do have the system in place specifically for a reason, and that's to try and maintain things and keep it as fair and as level, and all sorts of stuff like that as possible, right? So that's the reason why it's there. Are we moving on then to Division 5? Right, so this week, Division 5, at the top of the table there for this week, we have Falcon Gaming, and of course Falcon there on 2,105 points. They are followed very, and I mean very closely.
Very closely.
Very closely by the Original Gentlemen's Club, who are on 2,103 points. So 2 points difference between first and second placement. Then in third position, we have Negs, and they are on 2,092 points, followed then by the Phoenix Phantoms team, and they are on 2,002 points. In fifth position there, we have B1 Gaming with 1,911 points. We have Boar in sixth with 1,788. In seventh position, PWPK on 1,724, and of course Zion there at the bottom with 1,500 points. Now in this division, I'm going to also call out B1 Gaming, who needs to take the warning to heart. They are on 3 yellows, so the next one will be red. So let's just call that out so that everyone knows. Right, and of course that means that we're also not biased, right? Because I quite like B1
Yes.
gaming.
Yeah, but you have to like B1 gaming.
Of course, of course. That's family. I gave him a call on the side. I was like, listen, nia, 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 nia. Sing. Anyway,
Ooh, when you get a call from your uncle. Ooh, ooh.
right, Division 6. And
Before we move on to Division 6, I think we have to explain what a high tackle is for the American.
oh, sorry, Wand. I assume that's Wand, right? Hi, Wand.
Yes.
Glad you could join us. So, so first of all, Wand, we are talking about rugby, which is I know, a completely foreign sport to the Americans. And
I've been trying to teach him how to understand rugby, okay?
really, okay.
It's-
So,
I love rugby. I am a huge rugby girl.
so
Yes.
in rugby, right, you are not allowed to tackle above the shoulders, and that is primarily for safety reasons because it is an impact sport, and it could seriously harm, the person that you are tackling, right? So if you do tackle a competitor or a person from the other team above the shoulders, it's called a high tackle, and it is a serious offense, depending on whether it looks like it was. By mistake. If it was by mistake, at the very least, it's a yellow card in rugby. And if it looks like it was maliciously done, it could be a red card and it could get you off the field immediately. So, in a nutshell, here's also a little bit of a rugby lesson for you. There we go.
Yes. So basically it's what you do in football, but without all the padded gear.
Well, now you've got to be careful when you say football because we might have other people here who think that football is something that you play with your feet. You see.
The egg football.
That strange game where people throw stuff to the other guy who catches stuff and then they score
Yeah, no,
points.
and then
It's
you
very
change
confusing
up
to
and
me,
it's
right?
sometimes it's
Yeah,
defense and
no.
sometimes it's offense
Rugby
and
is just so much easier, right?
so much more enjoyable.
Right. Where did we end off? Division 7.
I
Right.
think yeah, I think we got that one last one.
Let's talk about Division 7 then, and that is, of course, the last division for tonight. And right at the top there tonight, we have CTK, and they are in position 1 on 2,233 points. They are followed in second position by TNT, and that is the Regicide team, 2,195. Rex in third there with 2,141. In fourth position, we have Digital Game. That's the Digital Devils. Digital Devils Gaming, and they are on 1,598 points. PDT there in fifth, followed by the Lords of Latency, and of course SDS there in seventh. But those last three teams, PDT, the Lords of Latency, and Sicario Death Squad, they of course all have a game in hand still.
Yes, I think we skipped Division 6.
Did we skip Division 6? Yeah. Oh, I was started talking about Division 6, and then we
Oh,
talked
sorry,
about
we went to high tackles.
we went to high tackles, and then there we go. So that's what happened. Right. So let's quickly handle Division 6 then. Of course, the Monkeys there on top. They are undefeated at the moment. They have played 3 games, won 9 maps, and they are on 2,250 points. They are followed actually quite closely there by Divine Gaming, and that is the Viserion team on 2,062 points. Fire with Fire Bravo very closely there in third with 1,974 points. OLG is for this week there in the fourth position. They are on 1,767, followed by Zold in fifth on 1,460. 4Q there on 1,235, and then of course TNT, and that is the Osiris team on 1,233. Also in this division, team 5, 6, and 7, so that's Zold, 4Q2, and TNT, they all have a game in hand, so they are all on 2 games versus the 3 games played by team 1 to 4. There we go. And now, of course, I've already done Division 7, so unless you want me to do it again, I don't think so.
No. So I'm going to answer a couple questions in the chat.
Sure, go for it.
I was Fat Cat asking how many games we played in total. So we have an estimate of how many games should be played. Obviously, we have these issues where there are some forfeits and some teams drop out and all that kind of stuff. So usually by the end of the season, we actually do a what do you call it? Like an
audit or a
yeah,
reconciliation.
kind of like an audit, I suppose. But we basically go and we figure out how many games were played by the end of the season. how many actual games are played, not how many we estimate
Can
supposed to be
can I
played.
tease a little bit about something again?
I'm getting there. Hold on.
Oh, all right. So you do
All
it.
right. And then the other question here coming from Matthew Smith was if a team drops out, I assume there's an automatic 750 points. Yes. So it basically is seen as a forfeit, and as a forfeit, you get your full 750 points.
Right.
Okay, you can tease now.
Can I tease now? Excellent. So guys, for us, the plan also, of course, because we are now doing a lot of stats tracking this season, is to be able to tell you guys at the end of the season exactly how many kills, how many deaths, and what score was achieved by the entire league at the end of the season in a certain number of games. So we are keeping tabs on it, we're keeping track, and hopefully when the reward show comes along, we will be able to give you guys that information as well. Now that becomes really, really powerful information, because you can imagine that if we know exactly how much the entire league scores, how much kills, how much deaths and scoring, then of course you can start determining things like what is your league average. And as a player, you can then start seeing, am I above or below the average? And it adds some, I almost want to say a level of some really good information for the people that partake in the tournament and partakes in the league, right? So I'm really, really excited to see what we can do, and how we can show that to you guys closer to the time or closer to the end of the season. There we go. But as you said, Sika, for teams that have forfeited, if you play a forfeited team in the next few weeks, of course you will get the automatic 750 points, which is just a fair thing to do, right? And we are, of course, about 2/3 of the first half of the league. We're in week. Well, we just went through week 3. We are heading on to week 4. Of course, week 7 is the off week, or the transfer week, right? Which is a break week for everyone. And then, of course, in week 8, we will start with the second part of the season, which will be on Hardpoint. So 2/3 through the first part of the league, right? Very, very excited.
Yeah, so to answer one more question in the chat, we've got Fat Cat saying, if you played a team and they drop out, the weighting is unfair. They should be calculated backwards. So when you play a team already, you had the opportunity to get 750 points against them. It's not the team's fault if a team drops out afterwards, that they don't have the opportunity to get this full 750 points. So it's all seen from that point onwards as a forfeit. So each match, each week is calculated separately as a forfeit.
Exactly. And of course, if you did play them already, like Sika said, you had the opportunity to get the 750, and that is the way it is. That is the way the league has been structured as well. So yeah, and of course it's not our first rodeo, right? We've tried several different ways to approach this, and for all intents and purposes, this has been the best way to treat it. So there we go. That is where we are. Any other questions that we have to deal with?
Batman says my mic went from 0 to 100 real fast. It got really loud. I don't know if you did something maybe on your side.
I did not. I think it was that authoritative voice of yours again. Anyway, all right. So there we go, guys. That is what we had for you for this week. We really hope you enjoyed another recap show with us. We are getting on to, hopefully getting on to getting you guys used to exactly, how the recap show runs and what you can see, and the interesting information that we try and share with you guys. Of course, as you know, Clan Wars is a community-based league. We do this stuff on our own time, and we also hope that you enjoy the stuff that we try and bring to you guys. And yeah, there we go. If you do, remember to give us a like on this video. If you're already subscribed, that's great. If you are not, hit that subscribe button, and also the bell to get your notifications whenever we go online. I want to say again that I'm going to try and stream a game this week, but a couple of weeks ago, actually 2 weeks ago, my PC had a big emotional breakdown. it blue screened, and it has been a real struggle getting everything back up and running for you guys. So I'm gonna try again this week. If I manage to get everything sorted out, I will bring you some game streams. At the moment, though, it was a bit tough over the last 2 weeks. So hopefully I'll get that sorted out. If we can, then we will see you guys on a game stream. If we can't, then of course we will be back for the recap show next week, Sunday. Sika, anything that I left out or anything else on the stream that we still need to bring up? Any of the comments in there? Something that I still need to say?
Blank is just reminding you to give a shout out to ProBro.
Oh, you see, I hope Blank stays.
It's not going to die anytime soon.
No, I really hope Blank stays to the end. See, funny guy. So, of course, I don't know if everybody, I know, definitely everybody in the stream will not know what Blank is talking about. But in the captain's group this week, we launched a new, and I'm going to say fake product now because that is what it is. But it is a product called ProBro, and it is thumb lubrication to make you slide better. That is what it was about.
It's really ironic that you're saying this as I'm sliding with my
There
gold
we go.
knife.
Yes,
into
you were
people.
using ProBro, see? And we had a big laugh about it, and we were promoting it like one of those TV ads, right? Like but wait, if you phone now, we will include a travel size ProBro. So we had some fun with that, right? Excellent. Seeker, what else?
Just a shout out, of course, to our League Masters for the great job that they do during the week, making sure that games are scheduled on time, making sure that everybody does what they're supposed to do, that disputes are sorted out, and all that kind of stuff. And of course, to our Stats Master and Stats Slayer. I mean, all the interesting, exciting stuff we've been talking about on the stream about what we can do with the stats afterwards. None of it would be possible without the League Masters making sure they got the scoreboards correctly, and without our Stats Slayer and Stats Master actually physically putting those stats into a huge. I mean, I'm not even joking, guys. The spreadsheet is insane.
Yes, no, it's
massive.
It's like 2.5 books.
So many formulas.
But it works, right? It works. The guys are really dedicated. So something that I just want to call out here very quickly, because it is quite an important point, and it is from Kuni Mulder here, who says, quick question, are you allowed to stream a game even if you are in a team in a division, or you have a stream for a different division? Okay, so Kuni, this is the simple answer. So generally speaking, let's say, for example, and I'm just going to use two teams as an example. This didn't actually happen, so again, guys, it's just an example. Let's say, for example, Evil plays, who do you want to play, Evil? Let's say you play CPR.
CPR.
Right. So let's say Evil and
because it's our match this week.
So good example. So let's say, for example, this week, Evil plays CPR, right? So generally, guys, what we suggest is that a stream, if possible, gets done by a third party or independent streamer from the two teams. For example, we then say, look, it's always better if the stream is not done by either a CPR or an Evil person. And the reason for that is that in the past, and as I said again, this is not our first rodeo. We've gone through some painful learning lessons of how to organize a tournament. There has been instances in the past where something happened called ghosting, and what ghosting is that is where a team does a stream and they are feeding their own team information on what they see. So we've put a lot of things in place, stream delays, non-stream tactical streaming. There's a lot of things that we've put in place to try and curb things like ghosting, for example. Now, unfortunately, it does sometimes happen that you really want to stream a game, but you can't get a streamer. Now, in that case, something called point of view streaming is allowed, and I'm sure the streamers out there will know exactly what that is. And point of view streaming can actually be done by a person that's partaking in the game itself, because there's no real tactical advantage around having a point of view stream, right? And there's quite a few other points that you can raise around this particular subject as well. And what you will see is, if you really want if you're really interested in the topic and you want to go and read around, exactly how streaming can or cannot be done by different teams or different setups, there's a whole section in the rules as well about it. Sika, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's under general rules. There's a part
Yeah.
that talks about streaming and ghosting and that sort of thing. It's in the rules. I don't have the particular section with me right now, but you can find it in the general rules. And that will actually exactly explain to you what is allowed and what is not allowed when it comes to own team streaming. It can actually be done. There is a couple of prerequisites for it to be able to done, for it to be able to be done. And again, guys, these things are put in place to try and keep it as open and fair and as transparent as possible. Not because we're trying to be difficult, but just as I said, we've learned some hard lessons over the years, and we put these things in place to try and make it run smoother or better, if you want to call it that way. All right.
Yep. 100%.
Yo, that was a mouthful. Right. So, Seeker, tonight we have almost gone to an hour and a half. Can you believe it?
Sure.
I'm telling you,
Lots of discussions in between.
it's good. It's good. I love it. I love it. That's why we do it, right? Absolutely great. But I reckon you've got everything there. Nothing else, nothing that I left out or forgot or anything like that. You said
much it.
You said thank you to everybody. We talked about the divisions, the outcomes. I'm very, very, very excited for this week, right? We are going on to week 4, and then we have 2 weeks left until we go into the second part of the season. So I'm super, super excited to see exactly how this week is going to turn out. We have about, I think it's 26 games or 25 games scheduled for this week, guys. So as I said earlier in the stream, please watch the Facebook page. A lot of links are going out on there. You are probably subscribed to some of the streamer channels already. Come out, support these guys. They do put a lot of time and effort into it, and they are going to bring us some very, very cool games again this week. I know that some of the streamers are literally booked every night. Some of them are actually booked with more than one game every night. So there is a lot to watch this week. And of course, I like saying that because one of these days I'm going to get a call from DSTV and they're going to buy the rights. So let's see how that goes. But guys, I think that is all that we had from our side tonight. Sika, again, thank you very much for your company. Yes?
I think just one more thing, guys. Please don't forget that you can submit clips to the channel, so that we can actually, or on the website, I should say, so that we can actually show your own footage as well. I mean, it's been fun watching some other stuff, but of course we want to show as much as possible and highlight as many players as possible.
Excellent. That was the one thing I forgot. Thank you very much. Anyway, Sika, again, as I was saying, thank you very much for your company. It's been lovely as always. It's been an absolutely exciting week. I'm really, really looking forward to the games that are going to be played this week, and hopefully this week I can also at least get to do a game stream. Maybe I'm starting to get like a little bit. A little itchy to do a game stream or two. I mean, I see some of these games and they are absolutely awesome. I want to get in there with the camera, right? But there we go, guys. From our side, that is what we had for tonight's recap show. Again, if you have joined us, thank you very much for doing so. We really appreciate your support. If you're already subscribed to the channel, that's great. If you are not, please hit that subscribe button. Also the bell to get your notifications whenever we go online. And if you like what we are doing, remember to give us a like on this video. We absolutely love the positive feedback. But from my side, I think that is all that we had for you for tonight. I'm Yakasal for Battle Bros. Leave no one standing.